messed up on our model, and we only have 8 months of money left instead of 20 months. One of the main things that people don't understand that I want to get into is just some of the cool stuff of how we look at things here. A lot of companies use these things called ERP, Enterprise Resource Planning, but it's never specifically tailored to the way we want to do things. And coming from software in my background, there's just so much that can be done in this world. So Maddie and I, Madison's, for everybody that doesn't know, is lead software engineer at Midday Square. She's based out of Austin, Texas right now. And myself, we kind of crank through building out some pretty epic stuff.
Mostly what I'm creating from scratch, from the ground up, is our internal tools, automations, pulling data from various places and compiling it so that we can use it to do things like fulfill orders and print waybills and packing slips for hundreds of orders at a time. And then it also does things like it talks to a weather API to get temperatures of the various places where shipments are being sent to, so that we know if we need to include extra insulation and ice packs and stuff.
Typically to date, Excel is what a lot of people or Google Sheets use to plan out their year. What is their profit and loss statements going to look like? So revenue, income, all that jazz. Excel is a nightmare to manage. When you're editing, sometimes you'll f up. And this happened to us early on with our first CFO. I mean, the f up was big. We thought we had 2 years of cash flow and we only had 1 year of cash flow left. It wasn't calculating a bunch of rows that actually show where our costs are. So the cost of goods sold, we're only applying 10 months of cost of goods sold, and our revenue was 20 months. So when you do revenue minus cost of goods, it was 20 months minus 10 months. The second she fixed the cell, it's 20 months minus 20 months, and now all of a sudden you have 8 months of cash. I looked all over the internet and I couldn't believe that nobody had solved profit and loss modeling in a really simple way with version control. And so we've been building that out, and it's just it's so fascinating to watch it come together.
We just have a very complex infrastructure as far as data goes, because we have some data on Shopify, we have some data in Airtable, we have some data on Wix, our old platform, and then we have some data that's in old Google Sheets and stuff. And having our own application and a developer that can go in and see every single part of the infrastructure and tie it all into one place without having to work with some outside software company where they're going to charge for every single customization is a really big advantage.
I think there's a lot of people that think we're crazy for doing this type of stuff, but you couldn't convince me otherwise. In this day and age, every company should be a software company. Maddie, you complete me.